Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the Lakers are trying to figure out how they're going to fill out the rest of their roster. I've heard for weeks now different names that have popped up. James Ennis took on some steam. Isaiah Thomas has taken on steam. And, there's been some other names as well, but nothing has quite happened yet. But we got some new names to add to that list. One being Rajon Rondo, of whom I've been saying needs to be on this team, if for nothing else, just to be a coach for our team. Why? Because we schemed well with Rondo. He was one of the guys who helped the Lakers figure out how best to attack those playoffs in that bubble from a schematic standpoint. He was one of the main people pointing out different things that he saw that maybe other people didn't see. And that was a very important aspect of what our team was able to accomplish, given the fact that we have a very unique setup with this team, particularly with a non-shooting point guard, Russell Westbrook. It's very important that we have the best basketball minds to help us be as creative as possible in making it work. And I think a guy like Rajon Rondo pretty much is ideal for what it is that we're trying to accomplish in that way. We lost some very key, important minds as well in Jared Dudley and Jason Kidd, now departing off to be in Dallas. We're bringing in a guy like Raymond Fizdale, who's going to also be a new face to help along with those things as well. So I think we should bring Rondo in, if for nothing else, to be a coach on the floor. So I think he should have been priority number one for us. As soon as it became clear that he was going to be available at some point, possibly waived by the current team he's on right now, which is Memphis, I immediately got on here and said, yeah, we need to pick him up. Like I made a video specifically for that. No excuses. I don't want to hear nothing. Bring Rondo in. Still feel that way to this second. I do understand that we have other needs that we need to fill, and that's why there's another name that I'm going to mention here today. I didn't know this person was available to the Lakers. I just automatically assumed they were headed back to where they were coming from. I think this is a low-key blow to that team if this happens. But DeAndre Jordan is apparently looking west. He wants to come to the Lakers possibly. I thought he was staying with the Nets. I didn't know he wasn't a part of their plans. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. I know that he had strong ties to the trio there, and he was handpicked by KD, if I'm not mistaken. So they're ready to move on. And if they're ready to move on, that makes me wonder if we should be ready to move on, because that just indicates to me that he's probably done, to be completely honest with you. We don't need a done center. We already got one of those. His name is Marc Gasol. We got Dwight Howard. Father Time's knocking on the door with him as well. Now, would DeAndre Jordan be a nice switch out for Dwight Howard? Of course, probably the best there is. When you consider who they are and who they've been, where they're in their careers, you definitely want both of them to be subbing in for one another. That's ideal. So I'm not against bringing in DeAndre Jordan, but I'm just wondering if he has anything left, because if the Nets aren't bringing him in, clearly that's a winning situation. Clearly that's a situation he's a part of. Leaving there, coming here, why? And so I'm skeptical that it actually happens. I think he actually ends up going back to the Nets, because that doesn't make any sense. They need size too. It's not like they don't need size in Brooklyn. So I know they found some young players at that center position. Alizé, I believe is his name. They may want to move him in. Obviously, Claxton's there as well. So they have some youth that they might have in mind in regards to those positions. But they'd still need the depth for DeAndre. So I'm actually kind of surprised that he's not already re-signed with the Nets. But if the Lakers bring him in, he's yet another older player to add to this list of older players. And, he helps us in the area that we need help in, which is the center position. So that's what I think of that. Those are the two names I'm hearing right now. It's kind of tricky for me because I'm thinking there are some other players that I'd like us. Like James Ennis, the fact that he shoots 41% from three, that's appealing to me. That's really intriguing, rather. So I want to bring in more shooting at all costs. But at the same time, again, we are thin at that center position. And of course, that point guard position, we could use another player there too. We really could. We could use a pure point guard to come in, step in, and be a facilitator outside of LeBron James and Russell Westbrook. Both of those guys at this stage in their careers are probably going to miss some games of some sort. If they're both absent, our team's going to be running around looking like chickens with their heads cut off. We all remember what our team looked like when we didn't have a facilitator out there. It was bad. It will be bad again, and that goes for any team in the league. If you have no facilitator, good luck winning a basketball game. So the more facilitators we have, the better. We have a bunch of guys who can knock down three-point shots, stand in the corner and do that. But we need players to help that ball movement and help that dribble penetration along, because ultimately that's something that's still not elite in regards to our roster. We're not the best fast break team in the world. We're not the quickest team in the world. We're going to be relying upon guys like Kendrick Nunn, THT, Malik Monk, obviously Anthony Davis and LeBron and Westbrook to be out in that transition and execute transition plays against what may be more athletic bigs, may be more athletic players on some nights. So we need to be able to keep up with some young legs. So I don't know that DeAndre Jordan does that. I'm not sure James Ennis does that. I don't think Rondo does that either. But these are the holes that we have on our roster as far as I can tell. And a few tweaks can shore those things up, to be honest with you. We just got to search through that waiver wire and continue to bring in players. So we'll figure it out. I guess. There's nothing else to say about that. We do have a hell of a team, though. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them play. A lot of talk has been made about their age. That's natural. We know that's coming. A lot of people are jumping on the hate bandwagon. That's cool. We knew that was coming. But we also know that we have three legendary Hall of Famers to trot out there, along with a bunch of big-time, high-percentage three-point shooters that are going to hit shots when open. So those shots will be open because of the attention those bigs will get, and those big-time players will get, rather. And that's why I expect the Lakers to be successful this season. So that's what I got, man. My name is BDF44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.